If your way doesn't get you referrals, then guess what? Your way is wrong. It needs a better recording in progress voice, by the way.
I think we should
I was
suggest it. I think we should record our own and send it to
I,
them
I was
and say,
looking for
we want
something
this.
like I was, and I need it should get AI should give you an introduction like, and now
I think it should be a radio voice and recording in
recording
progress.
in progress.
Or like, remember WWE?
I
It
I
should be that guy.
I watch WWE still
I mean, I was going to say WWF and I always have to correct myself.
because
Remember when it was WWF?
I do it
Yeah.
upgraded.
Yeah.
They said I guess they couldn't call it a federation; they had to call it entertainment.
No, it was because it was like the Wildlife. It was the same thing, World Wildlife Federation.
Oh,
It was the same initials.
I didn't know that.
That's what I was told.
These are fun facts. If you got nothing from today's uh, great trainers here, we
Mhm.
give you WWE stats. All right. For those of you out there, today we are going to be talking about referrals. Now, we have not scripted this at all.
Mm-mm.
Tanya has a way that she does referrals, and I believe I have a way that I do referrals. Now, some people will say that their way, don't basically, there's no one way to do anything, but clearly we beg to differ. No.
Yes, my way is the only way.
All
No.
right. So the goal today is in a friendly, very friendly debate because our goal is the same, is
Yeah.
to give you guys the the amount of options that you already currently possess to get the referral. And my goal would be to start you getting that within the next 72 hours. Tanya. Like some of it may take a little longer, but depends on the tactic. But the goal is to get at least one referral in the next 72 hours. And
Yep.
so by doing one or all of these tactics that we're going to go over today, um, and if you have questions, please do it in the chat. We have people monitoring the chat for us. We'll have points where we stop and look in the chat. If you don't want everybody to see your questions, you can chat us privately. We'll be able to see it. And we won't, if you chat privately, I won't say your name. But if you chat out loud, you already said your name, so I'm probably going to say your name. Okay. So most of the business in real estate, I've been doing real estate for, 14 years straight. Tanya, what about you? Just make sure I'm on the same page. Like,
So this month, this June 2026 marks 20 years.
20 years. Okay, so
Yeah.
when I said I did it 14 years, I've been doing it 21 years. No.
It is a competition today.
Yeah, I said straight. I was like, that was like not including any jobs, full-time real estate and real estate coaching and training. So, and I can say from my experience that majority, I can't give an exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's about 80 something percent of my business came from referrals.
Sure.
Would that be about right with you?
So, so mine's been a little bit different because I've started over multiple times, right? So I've moved a bunch. I have actually never sold real estate in a place that I knew people.
Mm-hmm.
I've only sold real estate in places where I had to grow my business myself.
Gotcha.
In all of those places, I've always done it this way. And this is back in the dark ages of real estate in 2006. Like not many of you will probably remember what Trulia is. Remember Trulia
Yeah.
before it merged with Zillow? Like
Right.
I literally bought Trulia leads.
You bought leads. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So both it and so, I'm not people, a lot of people are really proud to say, I have never bought a lead. I am proud to say I have bought tons and tons of leads, but those leads have turned into referrals. So I no longer have to do that. So what Bernard said is that there's many ways to sell real estate, right? And there's many ways to get referrals. The best way to get a referral is from somebody you already know. But if you don't know anyone, you might have to do it a little bit differently. So My way is different, right? I bought leads. I had to. I literally, when I tell you I didn't know anybody, I mean, I didn't know anyone. I had no friends. I had no sphere. I had no family.
Right.
So I bought leads, but I loved on those people so much
Hmm.
that over the years, they referred me. They referred me so much that my Virginia customers,
Hmm.
which was when I started in 2006, have given me referrals here.
Wow.
Yeah. And I can't even say I keep in touch with them. It's because of Facebook, right? Like
Because of
Facebook allows me, like it's not like I send them handwritten cards, but I do always wish them happy birthday because Facebook tells me it's their birthday.
it does, right?
And I try to interact with people, but I wouldn't say that I do anything extraordinary for them. But I have gotten is gotten a word.
Gotten is a word. Yeah.
It
It's
sounded horrible
in the
right
South.
then. I have received
Yeah.
um, 3 referrals from Virginia since I moved here.
3 referrals from Virginia.
Yep, like people from Virginia have said, "Hey, my cousin, my friend, my neighbor is moving to Florida. I let them know you were selling real estate and I have sold them homes."
Yep. Did you live in Virginia?
Yes, I sold, that's where I started in real estate. So I started in real estate in 2006 in the Hampton Roads area,
Right.
which is like Williamsburg, Virginia Beach, Yorktown, that whole area. Yep, that's where
So
I started.
so let's start off the first topic is what is the best way to get a referral? Like what do you think the best tactic within the next 72 hours? People watching, whether they're watching a replay or watching live right now, what do you think the best tactic is? And then I'll go last. And then the next question, you'll go first and I'll go last. And then the
Sure.
next
So
question, you'll go first and I'll go last.
I can always go last. I'm okay because it'll be better.
So I get to hear your answer first. No, good.
No,
Um,
so it's going to be 2 parts. So if you're like, I've never gotten a referral and I don't know where to start, you've got to figure out who to get the referral from. So there's always these things. What is it? What is that like Keller Williams thing, the top 100? But that's not what it's called. What is that
that's
sheet
what I
called?
call it. I call it top
But
100.
what is it? What is Keller Williams called? They call it something different.
They do. I forgot.
Me too, but that's okay. I call it the people you'd invite to your wedding.
Okay.
Because calling it the top 100 makes me nervous. I'm like, top 100 of what? What you talk who? What? I don't know 100 people, but if instead I say, if you were going to get married, who would you invite? You're like, "Oh, like I would write that down."
Right.
Or I don't know about you, but I have this thing right here. Do you guys have these? They're
Um,
phones.
oh
There's
yeah, 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 yeah,
people.
yeah. I heard
Do
about
you
them.
have one?
I heard about
Everyone? Oh, look at that guy. That's
them.
my horse.
Yeah. Thanks.
Anyway, if you have one, there's people in there. And I
Yeah.
think everyday people reach out to you, whether you like them or not, they do. This thing is the source of everything. So if you go through this here
Is the
is everything. So everything you need is in there. So if you have no idea where to start, look back in your text messages or in your phone calls and say, all right, these 20 people, these 30 people are who I reach out to the most and start with them because that's what everybody's scared of is where do I start? Well, it's whoever the heck you're talking to on a regular basis.
right. I would say if I had to go the absolute best way to get a referral is to ask.
Yeah.
Like the best feeling is when you don't ask, right? Like when somebody just calls you up and they're like, Jennifer, oh my God, I didn't even know you were in real estate, girl. Oh my God. Like, what? You know, you're my girl. You know, me and my husband was just talking and we are like so ready to buy. And if you're not a realtor, guess what? We're not buying. That's the best feeling ever. Right, Jennifer? Doesn't that feel pretty good? Like the and you're going to get those and you want to get those based on your service that you provided, maybe the last customer or you made an impact in a friend's life, and that's your sphere of influence. But there's an old proverb that says, You have not because you ask not. And by asking, I think that the people and sometimes the people they know, in inducing that, by just saying something like, I'm never too busy for referrals, guys. Like, quick question. Who do you know right now that's thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate this year?
Yep.
You know, do you just happen to know anyone that's thinking about buying or selling real estate? Now, if you think that's an awkward question, you only have to be awkward about 20 to 25 times in the next 72 hours.
And it'll get so much easier.
And they
But
get
there's different ways to do it, right? So I'm going to challenge you on that.
do it.
So there's this thing. It was actually a Tom Ferry webinar or something I watched a few years ago. And now that I have to remember all of it off the top of my head, I'm going to get them wrong. There's like
Shout out Tom Ferry.
five D's of why people buy and sell: diamonds, divorce, diapers, degrees, death.
There you go.
Five D's. So let's pretend you love what Bernard said, but you're like, I would never say, if you know someone looking to buy and sell, think of me. If that felt gross to you, it might have. It might not have. You might have said, oh, I never thought to say that. And if instead you're a social media scroller, you love doom scrolling all day long, you could look for that, right? If you're like, oh, wow. John and Sally Smith, who used to be my neighbors in New York, just they're just had grandkids and they live their kids live in Florida. Ooh, maybe they're gonna move,
Right.
right? Those are diapers, right? So those are a lot of the reasons why people move.
Mm-hmm.
You could reach out to them and say, not, do you think you're gonna move because you had a grandkid? Nobody wants it like that. Instead, you're going to say, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while. And they're going to say, great to hear from you. How weird.
Right.
Everyone's so weird. Everyone's so concerned about reaching out to somebody they haven't spoken to in a while. But instead, if you do this thing called, hi, how
Right.
are you? I saw on Facebook you just had a grandkid. How exciting. At some point, either A, it's going to come up that you're in real estate,
They're
or B,
gonna
it's going to come up they love the grandkids so much they're thinking about moving. You then have to feel good enough about what you do to say something about it.
so you're basically saying instead of just if you're not going to just directly ask, right?
If that doesn't feel good to you, because it's not going to feel good to a lot of people.
Okay. Okay.
You're like, what?
Well, because I didn't know we were doing business based on the way we feel.
We
But
can't,
if we're
we
doing it
can't.
based on the way we feel, then I can see you saying that
Yep, because a lot of people are just not going to do it. So instead,
because of how they feel.
yep, they're not going to. Do you know? Because it's not
That's
so
hard.
they're just not going to ask for the referral because they don't know what to say because what you just suggested, which I think is a great thing to say. I definitely say what you say, but
Right.
after speaking to lots of agents, they're like, I couldn't say it at all in the conversation ever. I've never said it. I'll never say it. I'll never ask them if they know someone ever
Okay.
because it's too forward, right? It's just too forward for them.
Okay, then why wouldn't someone ask? Maybe you guys chatted up the answer. Why wouldn't someone ask? Why wouldn't you ask directly? I mean, we can get into the other tactic that you're talking about because I do like that, by the way. But why wouldn't someone, let's deal with that mental block first, because it could be just a mental block and ignorance, honestly. Like, why wouldn't someone just ask for a referral on a regular basis, by the way? Not the same person, of course. I'm not going to keep calling Michelle up and be like, hey, Michelle, got a referral? Hey, know somebody? That's kind of crazy. But
Sure.
if I was going to mix it up once a quarter, even every 6 months to just hit a certain amount of people, um, why wouldn't I ask?
Are you
I,
asking me or are you
I
asking
would,
them?
but why wouldn't someone ask? I don't understand this.
What I've heard agents say, because the verbiage you just used is Buffini, right? But I think they're afraid of the no, like Christina just said, right? They're afraid of the no. They're afraid that that person's going to feel it's salesy, and then they're not going to want to be their friend anymore. Is the feedback I've gotten is that they're afraid it's salesy, and they don't want to be deemed a sales agent.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
Okay. Fear is what stops them.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that?
You do it and you realize that when you say it, they're like, I do. I do know someone. Oh my gosh, I forgot you were a realtor. Yeah,
Right.
I was just at my neighbor's house. We just had wine, and they said they were selling and they didn't know anybody. And and Bernard, I totally forgot you're a realtor, even though I talk to you all the time and you sold me my house 3 weeks ago. You
Yeah.
know, it's so funny, right? You're forgotten, which is sad, all very easily. But the fear of rejection or the fear of not being liked is great.
Or being judged.
Yep, being judged.
Like business must not be going that well if you have to ask me.
Mhm.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Eek.
All right. So fear is the number one answer. Can we get anyone else? Like, why wouldn't someone ask for a referral? Carol Morgan.
Morning. Well, I think that fear is a big thing, but I think the most important thing is the rejection part of it.
Okay.
And, because you can have fear of asking and not even think about the rejection, but the fear of rejection is probably 10 times harder for people to understand why.
Hmm.
And, you're just you're beat down at that point.
Right, right, right. Because yeah, that's a good point. If you've been rejected, like if you ask 10 people and they're like, sorry, Jen.
Because they're
Yeah.
like, sorry, I'm going to
Yeah.
use blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah, it's
sometimes,
Laura at blah blah blah, you know? You're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I've learned here in Texas because there are so many real estate agents here.
Yes, there are. There's a lot in
Everybody
Texas.
has two or three in their family.
Yeah, Texas, Florida, and California have the most real estate agents across the US.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
So, it's not rejection here, but oh yeah, my sister's in real estate, or yes, my best friend is in real estate.
mm,
So it's just everybody knows somebody in real estate here.
okay.
And it isn't a rejection thing. I say to them, well, I'm glad that you do. If it doesn't work out and you don't want to, list with them, call me.
That's fair.
sure.
That's
It's
fair.
great. It's a
I,
great thing to
Because
say.
at that point in time, you're not being rejected, you're just being honest with them.
you're just being
Yeah,
honest with them.
I
Yeah.
would rather they use a family member as I would want to use one of my family members if they were in real estate.
Right.
correct.
I respect that fact and hey, I'm here. If it doesn't work, let me know.
That's true. I get the question I guess would be, well, not it's not just a question. We're going to overcome that psychological barrier, but because there's multiple ways to do it. One, yes, the fear of rejection. I get that. Fear is not a part of our business plan. So when I think discipline is another one. I think most people don't, and they don't make it a goal. This month is their theme of goals. It should be a goal to go, I'm going to ask for the referral. My goal is to get, 2 referrals this month. And just
Sure.
by making it a goal, it makes you do the work that would gain the referral, whether it's
Well,
pat.
it's another muscle, right?
Yeah.
It's a muscle you have to practice, right? Is
Yes.
asking for that referral. So that's why if you've never asked for the referral, even with your past customers, asking a friend for a referral, kind of doing it through the side door, like I suggested,
Hmm.
it's kind of like practicing bicep curls with no weights, right?
Right.
It's kind of like halfway in between. And once you've done it a few times, it makes it asking the whole way a little bit better because you've had some success.
Right.
I
Right.
have found that a lot of agents who didn't realize that they had to ask for things when they got into real estate, they get a little bit of success with it, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, hey, what's up? Yeah, did you know anyone?"
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
You know, I I
they're
don't
in it
ask
then.
I don't ask my friends for referrals because of the fact that I've been in this business for what, 40 some years. I
whew,
honestly believe that my friendship is more important to me than a transaction. So
interesting.
I keep my friendship, but what I can do to them is I'll say, I respect you as my friend. And when we're dealing with money, it changes everybody. And
Hmm.
too many hard feelings get put in the middle of it all. So
Okay.
I'm just going to say this to you that I do not, it's not that I don't want to take your house, but I respect your friendship more than listing your house. But what I can do for you is I can refer you to an agent that I respect and know who can help you do that. That way I say, I keep that friendship. I still get a referral fee.
Still
I
get
keep that
referral fee.
friendship
Yep.
and I don't have any hard feelings. And I
Love
can
it.
tell you a good example of this is down in Florida. I had, who the Belichicks are in Florida. But I was very good friends with the Belichicks. And Candace and John were putting their house up for sale, and they asked me if I would list it. And there were two of us. There was another couple, Jill and Jay, and myself. We all hung together with Belichicks.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I said, I'm sorry. I would love to list your house, Candace, and I will help you do anything to sell this house. But I respect our friendship, and I really don't want to lose that.
Gotcha.
And I explained to her the money part of it. When money comes into play, too many feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
And it just, if you're a good agent, you're going to explain to them why the money problem became a problem to begin with. So anyway, they went back to the other couple and they asked the other couple if they would. And they said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up to them and I said to them, I said, guys, my policy on this is I just don't list with friends and I refer them out. I said, I hope this works out for you. Oh, this will be just okay. Well, it didn't turn out okay. It turned out very bad.
Uh,
I had to step in the middle and help everybody,
you had to do it
which I
anyway.
do. But we lost a friendship of 5 people
Woo.
down to just 3 of us. And to this day, they still will not talk to them. And it's very sad. It's very sad. So I don't do friends.
Okay. So I do friends. Like, and I
Same.
try, yeah, I do all of them. There's a couple that I may not though, that I have like reserve and go, you know what? Based on personality, the type of relationship that I have with them, I refer to that. Like I give you an example of one. It's like a mutual friend of me and my ex's, but she's more on the ex side, you know. She's
That's sure.
she's on,
I get that.
she's not on my side, you know. She's on my ex side, you know. So I was like, ugh. No. So I referred that business out. I didn't work with her. I felt that it was necessary for me to refer that business out. I've done that a few times where I choose it. I do that with customers too, certain customers. I go, you know what, this is not the expectation is not going to be met or possibly can be confused, and I don't want to do that. So I understand what Carol's saying. I would definitely challenge it a little bit. Just but again, when we're doing this, there's no one way, right? We were talking about that.
No, it's
It's
the
multiple
amazing
ways
part
to
about
keep
real
thinking.
estate.
One of the things I love that she said was referral. I've made a living off of referrals. That has
Mhm.
like been my favorite part of real estate is I just did a referral agreement yesterday, literally, with a guy in California. And it was like, and then another one with another person in California because the lady thought I was in California and she thought I was from California. I wasn't, I was just visiting. But she was like, she asked, she wants to buy VA, she wants to buy an investment property. And I was like, oh, you should really buy in Florida. She was like, oh, do you know that market? I'm like, oh, you bet I do. Like, and guess what she's buying, Christina? She's buying here in Florida. And that's that was pretty just by just the conversation. And that was a referral from someone in Japan during the military. They're in Japan, was talking about me. And that just, to me, the referral, I know that's like a little cheesy cliche, but I really love it, is the highest reward to our jobs.
Yeah.
Any job, honestly, that it's in sales or service industry. Like when someone refers a restaurant, it's high. That's great. You know, when someone refers you, um, the organic referral is always the best. But I gotta tell you, you have to practice inducing it though.
Yes.
You have to practice inducing the referral. Like it has to be a part of your weekly to monthly plan. Somewhere in there, you're gonna go, I'm gonna ask 25 people, you know, about a referral and do it in your way. Do it in the way that fits you, that works. If your way doesn't get you referrals, then guess what? Your way is wrong.
It's just not working. Exactly right. Because
Right.
you're, again, you're forgettable. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how great
Yeah.
you might have had the most amazing transaction of all time. You
Yeah.
might have given them, they might have received a horse, a pony, a castle, I don't know, $1 million. They forgot the next day you even
Yeah.
exist. It's very sad, right? The transaction might have been the most amazing thing of all time. The next day, you don't even exist to them,
Yeah.
right? So you have got to the way to get referrals, I mean, it is asking 100%. Bernard, you win. You're right. 100% you have to ask. But then after that, the transaction never ends, right? They're never
Yeah.
past customers.
Yeah.
Get that verbiage out of your brain. If you get nothing else out of this
Yeah.
talk, out of this call, out of whatever we want to call this, stop labeling your people as past customers. I don't remember what I was at, if Christina was there, if anyone was there. We were at a rebar camp. This
Mhm.
gentleman talked about how, remember what was his name? I can think of him. I listen to him all the time now. Christina, you remember his name? Anyway, remember his name?
Wasn't he the keynote speaker
Yeah, he was a keynote speaker
like
and he
2 years
talked.
ago?
Mhm.
Yes. Oh,
He was
anyway,
handsome too.
he had super handsome. He had the best analogy how a hairdresser never refers to anybody as a past customer, but they come and leave. They're a past customer every 8 weeks, but they're always just a customer.
Yeah.
So stop referring your people as past customers.
As customers. Yeah.
And so once you change that verbiage in your brain and you think of them always as customers, it really changes how you treat them. So
Yep.
I would say, I don't know. Oh, do you have another question? I'm just going.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Is
Go
the
ahead.
next best way
What's that?
to get referrals is you got to keep in touch with them.
You got to keep in touch.
You got to keep in touch with them and you've got to have systems because if you have a lot of people, whether they're your past
Mhm.
customers, your friends, your family, your neighbors, whoever they are, you can't just be calling them every day. Who the hell has time for that? So
So,
you gotta have emails or
so we're writing this down. You have to have the discipline to ask.
discipline to ask.
Then you have to ask, right? It has to be a goal. If you guys write that down, it has to be a goal. Um, and when you project that goal, then you do the task that it takes. And so what you're saying is you have to nurture and engage with
Yes,
your influence on a consistent basis as well.
correct. And
So
you've
you
got to
front of
do
mind.
it often. It's got to be so much more often than you think. The data is they have to hear from you
Yep.
17 to 25 times for them to remember who you are and what you're asking for. So if you feel like sending them a weekly email newsletter is too much, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Yep. Um,
It's not too much.
Now that's people we know, right?
Mhm.
There,
No, it could be people you don't know. I disagree.
no, I didn't. I wasn't making a point.
Okay.
Just stating that was people we know.
Yeah.
Another way to get referrals, I think, as well, is vendors, loan officers that you're using on a consistent basis. Could be home inspectors, could
So underutilized what you just mentioned.
right. Because loan officers, not that they're lead sources, we need them, right? Like to do the deal. Most deals are
Yep.
bought by the bank.
Mhm.
And we need the loan officer to really good ones to do the work. But after you give a loan officer, enough referrals, right? Because you're doing that based on this, it's okay to ask. They may not have a referral for you,
Sure.
but I don't want you to look at it as a rejection thing. I would like to change the perspective on it's a not yet thing. It's this person asked me because they are doing the work. Hey, I'm trying to stay front of mind. So your loan officer, be their besties on social media. Text them on their birthday or call them. It's just say, like I would always say this too. Same thing with open houses. That's another place you could get a referral from. Is open houses. There's people who are visiting who know people. And if you make a good impact, and maybe they're people that came are not ready to buy and sell, but they know someone. What would you say to that, Tanya?
I mean, I'm going to say a very blanket statement.
Go.
What anyone, anywhere, you want them when they think of real estate, you want them to think of you. So what Bernard just said is if you have a loan officer that you've been working with, when they think of real estate, because if they get a referral, which it could happen, and then be like, oh, I'm gonna call Jennifer Boyd. Because gosh, if I think of realtors, she's the number one person on my mind.
Right.
And the only way she's that loan officer is going to think of that is if you stay top of mind with them because they talk to a lot of realtors. But if you're the one going above and beyond for them, like you're the one that wishes them happy birthday, you're the one that wishes them, a Merry Christmas and things like that. Because let me tell you something, nobody is. Nobody's doing nice things for the loan officer. No one's doing nice things for the
For the
the
builders,
title
the
agent.
agents. That's what people. I had a site agent. I went to. It was years ago. I studied site agents because I was like, okay, I always. There's a thing that my family. I don't know where I learned it from, but it was like trace the money trail back. You know.
Okay.
So most people in new construction, you're like, how do I get these customers before they come to the new construction? Like, how do I get in front of these people besides social media and stuff like that? I can't just hang out the model homes all day, although I was doing that for a little bit.
Sitting in the parking lot,
It
just
just
waiting,
is waiting,
counting.
try to calculate at the same time. Oh my God. What a
Oh my
question.
God, hi.
Yeah. Did you have an agent walking in with you?
Right, wear a
No.
shirt. I am a realtor.
Yeah, right,
I
exactly.
sell new homes.
Right. Like all of the above. Like, so when you're doing it, you're thinking, I'm there, and I remember asking, I said, because one of the things about salespeople is solving the problem, right? What is the finding out what the problem is and then how to solve it. So I asked them, I said, hey, what is your biggest pet peeve when it comes to realtors coming to your model home? They said they always do the same thing. They give their card and they go, hey, if you ever have anybody that doesn't have a realtor, call me. And it's like, as if I'm just supposed to give them somebody. It's like, also bring your people here to me too. And so I was like, how many stack of cards do you have? And the person pulled out. They were like, this is like the last quarter worth of stacked business cards like that. I said, have you ever
Wow.
passed any amount? They said, no. I was like, man, that's crazy. So I started looking, pop buys, right? Like different thing, different ideas. I was like, you guys don't get a lunch break here. They were like, oh, you got to squeeze it in when you can because, we're open and we got to be ready. So I was like, I'm going to bring them lunch.
Mm,
And so I started bringing them lunch, like one by one. And then I found out it's the biggest sales manager fault in the world. Like, you don't have a sales meeting without food. Everybody knows that. So they were
yep.
having sales meetings at Lennar on Monday mornings. And so I came on Christmas, like the around Christmas, and I got them all gift cards at their sales meeting. And then I bought them all like breakfast because they're the ones used to paying for everything.
Yep. They
I
they they
got
sponsor our meetings.
7
Yeah.
new
Hmm.
construction referrals. The way the referral was the best, also the best way. It was like the Jennifer referral that I was doing. It literally was a guy, he's like, hey, I got a person here right now. They don't have an agent. They're not from here. I really want to hook them up with someone because I told them I work for Lennar. So even though I'm going to try to have their best interest, they need someone to represent them. 15 grand. I was the person met me through the phone. They were ready to write the deal. I said, wait, I gotta have a process. I'm like, let me meet you in person first. They were like, before you sign, they were like, no, 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 we want it. We want you to represent us. We trust this guy. Let's go. I never met them. It's
Yeah.
it was amazing. So I tell people all the time, like, nurture the relationship, treat
Yeah.
agents like customers because
Because you made it about a relationship and not
yeah,
about the transaction.
right.
Yeah.
Treat them like customers. You never freaking know. Like, so quickly, you're going to be probably getting referrals from another agent in your career for sure. It's going to happen. And that's, and especially if you niche something like I niche VA. I had Rick Bartell, who's like, he kills it in real estate commercials. He's like known for commercial real estate. He called me 2 days ago about VA and wanted me to help him with this VA transaction because I niched VA because I niched it, he could find out. He could chat GPT it. He has a broker. He could reach out to the broker. Like, but he called me because I niched it and he knows I'm in that industry. So the same concept, like when you're when you're inducing referrals, induce it in real estate agents, induce it in people. But remember the most important part, and I think Tanya, you said it, so you win on that one, is you have to nurture the people. That's what makes it
Yeah.
less awkward. Is when you're nurturing, it makes it so less awkward.
Yes.
Um, but awkward is not the reason not to do it.
I agree. Absolutely. And I think, if we go back to what I started it with, because, I love the verbiage you used in the beginning that you're asking for the referral. So let's go back to the nurture, right? So you're sending a newsletter, you're sending an email, end it with the verbiage that Bernard said. So, because we know our customers are reading it, our friends and family are reading the emails. So now they've heard it because they've read it. So now when you say it to them, it's not going to seem as new because,
Yep.
we're giving them subliminal messages. They're hearing it all the time, so it's not new to them. So, um, so a lot of you who've heard me before, or they've heard Sam, who's my husband, who we love Brian Buffini. I stopped laughing at me, you guys.
Mhm.
Those of you who know me know I just got married and it was hard for me, and I have a hard time saying husband. Anyway, we have embraced Brian Buffini, who's all about referrals.
Mhm.
So when he's training you on asking for the referral, which is the same exact verbiage that Bernard used, he tells you to say something like this, like, "Hi, customer, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, I got something I'm going to say." And they're like, "Oh, okay. Hey, I'm going to end the call kind of weird. Can I talk to you about it?" And
Right.
it says something like Bernard just said, "I'm going to end it with, hey, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell,
Yep.
would you think about me?" And then you're going to say it kind of in the beginning of the conversation. And then you're going to have your conversation. And then you're going to say, "Hey, don't forget, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, I hope you think about me." So sometimes if you get the weirdness out of the way in the beginning, ha it can make it feel better because you've kind of, ripped the band-aid off
Right.
and it's over.
It is. It's
And you've gotten it over because you're not sitting on your hands the whole time saying, "Oh God, I have
right.
to say
Right.
that
Right.
weird thing. I've got to say, are you looking to buy or sell? Do you know anyone? Hi, how's the kids? How is the karate? How is the things I saw on Facebook? Crap, 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 crap." Because if you think that those conversations are easier for, Bernard and I, it's still a little bit awkward for us, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's not. It's easier, but it's still hard for us. Like,
For
don't
me,
think
it's a
because
pride thing, right? Because, it's not so much a fear of rejection, it's more of a pride thing. It's like I want people to think that I don't need to ask, right? Like that's the truth. Like I'm like, I don't ask my friend for a referral, like, "Hey man, you know anyone buying or selling?" Um, I have weird friends. So like the military buddies that got long stories, like so
sure.
the I don't want to ask because of my pride, and pride is normally hidden behind the fear, fear of judgment, I
Yep.
guess. But the that's the main thing. But regardless, I have to face that fear and that pride and put it back in its place because ultimately, when we're helping customers, the impact on that, it's like the highest calling, honestly, in our field. Like it's a good career choice to do this on a consistent basis. And I've so been watching your video about consistency. I've edited so much, by the way, that you're beat it in my head now, just so you know, consistency. It's consistent. Going after the referral has to be consistent.
It does, and it will compound, right?
Yep.
It's amazing, and you know, I it is real estate. It's not hard, but it isn't easy,
You're right.
right? It's kind of strange, right? Because if that's like such a weird thing to say that it's not hard, but it's not easy either because it's a combination of both. Because being consistent's hard.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's not easy to get out of bed every day and say, "Okay, today I'm going to call five people." I don't want to call five people either, guys.
Right.
I mean, who does?
Now, here's one that we have to deal with when we talk about referrals.
Okay, I'm scared.
And if you guys have any other questions, like make sure you have them in chat. I think I hit most of them that was in private chat. So um, the you're going to end up getting referrals now that you're asking, right? And I have to say this because sometimes we don't want to be pushy or salesy. So
Okay.
when we get referrals, here's how it sometimes happens. I don't know if this ever happened to you, but it's happened to me and even recently too. I had a lady call me the other day. Hey, I gave a referral. Three people want to buy a house. They're in the military, want to buy a house. I gave your number and card out to everybody. She was like, so you better treat them right. I'm like, okay. And another guy did the same thing. He's like, hey, my buddy wants to buy. And then another one did. So it was like 6 referrals in like 2 week period. However, I talked to none of them except for one, the one from Japan. She actually called me. If you wait until they call you, it's unlikely that it would actually happen.
0% chance. So,
Yep.
so the disappointing part is you didn't teach your customers how to give you a referral, right? So, boo on you, bad boy, bad,
Yep.
right? You need their information, right? Because no one's calling anyone. That's just
Right.
the way
Right.
society is, right? So you have to teach your customers how to give you referrals, which is you need their information. Oh, hey Bernard, thank you so much. I love to hear that Brian is looking to buy a house. Could you put us on a group text?
Yep.
Like that is not scary because they're not giving I don't want to give you Brian's information. I know, I just posted a group text. They forget that you automatically have his information.
Right. Like,
Just a group text is all we need. Just a
yep.
group text. But you're right. They're never
Never.
calling you.
It'll be the longest wait of your life.
Yeah,
I was like,
you'll
oh, good. That's
die
free.
waiting.
I'm literally writing it down. I'm a coach, guys. So even a coach, I have a coach too. So like, I'm
Okay.
like, so it can happen to the best of the people out there. So that's why I mention it because it's so recent. I'm like, dang, oh, I haven't done that part in a while where,
Well, you just forgot. Because
yep,
you get so excited to be thought of.
yep,
You're like, "Oh my God, thank you." And then all of a sudden it's been a couple of days and you're like, "Shit, man.
yeah.
I
I'm like,
just fell for it."
yeah, it's the pride. It's the pride. The God has really helped me with this pride thing. I'm like, oh,
Uh,
like I almost want them to think that like, yeah, yeah, I'll get to your referrals anytime. But they never hit me back, and I'm like, no, 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 please, I really am not that busy. I really, I can just move some stuff around, and just like that, we can help you. Like that's the reality. So when you're getting referrals, because you will get them, sometimes they come to you just like what I just explained. And I will tell you, if you're waiting for that person to call you, it is a long wait. And so it's best for you to go back. First, I like what Tanya said. It's best for you already to nurture on how to get referrals. Hey, if you ever have anyone that you need a referral, send me their information. I love helping people. And sometimes me reaching out is less awkward than them reaching out, you know? And that right there is a good script. Here's another one. I have it in a workbook for those of you who have a workbook. If you don't have a workbook, chat it. I won't give you a workbook, but I'll give you this screen. This one right here. Um, this is a script. You could take a picture of it if you like, if you don't have it either. Or we can send you this sheet right here, Brian, page 35. The we can send this sheet right here is talk about when you're developing your top 100. I talk about it in the book and I talk about it in the workbook. And 100 does seem like a lot. So I wouldn't start with 100, right? We believe in simplifying. Just start with 10 people. And yes, your spouse and your dog counts. So ask little Rover, hey, little Rover, if you were going to buy a house today, just bark, if you would use me. Casino, casino. That's that's what I would say. Carol says she doesn't have the workbook. We'll make sure Brian, we got to make sure Carol gets the workbook today. Because she is the beast. And this right here is a script. It says, if you or someone are going to buy or sell property in the next 12, 24 months, who would be your go-to real estate agent? That's the sample script that you want right there. We did that. Jennifer did that. Some other people on this call did that. They got people to reply back right away. You. And as you get that in your CRM, I'm a coach, so I like things by the book sometimes, literally by the book. But if I was going to use a cheat code, I would only work on trying to get 100 people where I don't have to make calls, and that's the people I nurtured. There's a statistic that if you just nurture 100 people and not at one time, you can do it through campaign emails, text messages, engagement on social media. Like you don't care about going viral, you just care about those 100 people. That if you stay front of mind to those 100 people and nurture the relationships, that you will literally never have to work again. You
Yep.
will literally keep getting referrals. If they just gave you 1% every year, you would be fine in real estate for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Most of the older people that I know who don't like social media, their business is referral based. The only time it really hurts them with the social media part is when they move and they don't know nobody. But even then, they still can get referrals from where they used to live at, and that's why this is. So take this script. This is a guide, not just a thing. We'll give it to you guys in a replay back. Sorry, in the email back to you. This sheet right here, just in case you missed it or don't have it. But use that script. It's really, really good. And do not assume that someone will automatically choose you because of your relationship. Some people, in fact, will go, I don't want to mix friendship or relation or family and business. I've had people do that. And then I've gotten referrals from agents just like Carol or other people that was like, hey, I don't want to mix that. And there are certain family, I have one particular person I'm thinking in mind right now that I would not help in real estate. No, two in my family. No, three, I lied. They're all just alike from the same lineage. I will not help them. I'm like, nope, you can talk to Brian, you can talk to Tanya. Usually you talk to Carol, but you ain't gonna talk to your boy. I'll give them advice though. I love them. I'll give them advice. I'll try to be the voice in their ear if they need anything, but I don't want to mix it. So there are some people that I would not do business with that I would refer out. But either way, it's still a good referral. It's still good
Sure.
referral. Once referrals are addicting,
Well, what's interesting, Bernard, is you're still helping them.
you are.
Right. I mean, you're just helping them in a different way. You're not like the number one person. And the same with Carol. Like she was still helping them.
Yep.
She was still ensuring they were set up for success. She was finding an agent that she knew, like, and trust to ensure that the transaction went well. And
Yep.
so, it's still a version of a referral. And, to go back to, building a business, on referral. So like I started with saying that I bought leads right in the beginning. And within 3 or 4 years, I was selling just shy of 40 million
Wow.
and almost
Come on now.
89% of it was referrals.
There you go. Done.
So, having a system, keeping in touch with people the right way,
Right.
nurturing them the right way, it's possible. And that's a lot of real estate and that's a lot of money.
It is.
A lot. It's people are like, "Oh, I can't do that." No, you can. I
Yeah.
promise. You can do it and those referrals, still feed me. That
Right.
they keep coming. And I will tell you, I don't do that good of a job of keeping in touch with most of them anymore. I
Well, you're
used
building a
to.
brokerage too. You're helping people.
Yes. Yeah. No, but you can do it with very, very little stuff. It doesn't with some very, very few systems and stuff.
Right.
Keep in touch with people.
There you go. I think we hit a lot. We talked about discipline.
Yeah.
We talked about asking. We gave out scripts for how to ask, nurturing the relationship. Now let's execute. I think what I'd
Please.
love to see is people on the call. If you guys can come next Thursday, we're gonna do another one of these. It's gonna be negotiating commission. The
So fun.
I know that's one of my favorite ones. Negotiating commission. If you didn't have sales training background, come to next Thursday. We'll give you the best 45-minute sales. I love teaching on sales, like how to sell, how to assume the sale, how to win the sale, and then also negotiating commission. I say negotiate everything. um, everything. The I would venture to say that this gave such a good overview of the referral, but it wouldn't be good training to me if at least 10% of the audience that's listening on the replays and here wouldn't actually do it. So I'm encouraging three of
I
you,
don't want to be
you know,
affiliate.
and you know who you are, like three of you, to actually induce the referral. Like take that script or a script. It doesn't have to be this script. And pass it around to 20 to 25 people and tell me what you get. I really want to hear, like, man, I really got somebody said they're not ready to buy now, but there will be next year, and I want to use you. Like, I think that you're going to start building it. So instead of the top 100 to scare you, call it your top 10 and then build up to a top 25 and then top 50, and then do it that way. But I think Megan just put the registry in there for that webinar. And we'll have emails going out as well. But like, make sure that you have any other questions before we go. We're about to log off this thing, but you guys ask for the referral. Ask for the referral, and then create a goal around asking. Create a discipline to do it on a regular basis, even if it's two a day. It would take the debt away. It would take the pain away.
That rhymed.
It poor and broke is more awkward than asking for a referral.
So, you know that expression, choose your hard?
Yeah.
So it's hard to be broke. It's hard to
It's
make the
very
calls.
hard to be broke. I've been broke, Tanya.
Listen, so have I.
Been broke.
And I'm not afraid to talk
I
about
don't
it.
like it.
It is awful.
I hate it,
It
actually.
is
Then
really, really
you know
terrible.
what's worse than broke though? Because I'm coming from a surviving mentality. So like when I'm broke, I like just like grind and hustle. What's
Yes.
worse is actually being complacent and having the money, not needing it. It's like it can sometimes be the cancer because like when I've had
Mhm.
like six figures in my savings account and different things like going on, like with real estate, I'm like, I really don't need to sell. I found myself saying that.
Oh,
Really don't.
fascinating.
I did.
I get that.
I to this day, I still don't need to sell.
Right.
But I was like, I'm not doing it no more just for what I originally was doing for the first time. You
I
know,
get it. Yeah.
I'm doing it now because I really feel like it's part of my calling to help people.
Right.
I do. I feel like I was asked the other day if you could speak in front of people or do real estate or do coaching or do like all these different things, stand-up comedy. I
I
know
know the answer.
go without money involved at all. Which one would you do?
I know what you would do.
What's that?
You want to speak in front of people.
I would want to speak in front of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it won by an inch because the next one is
Yeah.
real estate would be
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, but it's for the same reason. It's I want to just help. And so I think, and the reason why I'm sharing that is because I come across a lot of people, and I believe a lot of people in the audience, it also has that same teaching or serving heart, very similar. And so even if the money's good at home and you don't need it, that's such a good thing. Utilize the time then that you have to help. Utilize. You let that be your spark, not your excuse. Let that be the fuel that lights you, not dormant you. And I'm saying this from experience. I've done it. So I know if you're out there, you're one of those people, either you're broke and you need the money, let that shit light you up. If you're not and you're like, I don't really need it, then utilize that as a gift to help people even more, um, and give more of it. And then that would be the way I would end this today. Be
I love
that
it.
be that person that you already know you're supposed to be.